try out this new camera for vlogging and just see how it goes. But first I gotta check my tire. There was a hole and sealant was spilling out, so let's see if there's still air. Looks like it held air a little bit. Let's try pumping it up. So a few weeks ago was my birthday, and my parents surprised me with this new camera. It's a DJI Pocket 2. Now, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know anything about this camera. And at first glance, I wasn't sure how I would use it, because if you know what it looks like, I'll show you some pictures of what it looks like, but it looks very fragile, and I tend to not take care of my stuff very well. In fact, I've already dropped this DJI Pocket 2 twice. Fortunately, it seems like the gimbal still works, but I think after using it for one ride, I think I have a place for it as a secondary camera, or as a camera for like not bicycle related stuff. But of course, this is a cycling vlog, so we gotta use this thing for cycling. So I'm biking with a DJI Pocket 2 in my hand right now. Don't expect me to do that very often, but here, let's shoot some scenes. The bike came from the shop, and they have a tendency to overinflate the tire, and I have no traction. I forgot to get some air out. Let's do that. Much better. Tiring. I found this trail in one of my favorite routes, and then I didn't realize there's a trail here. I don't know if I'm gonna reach the end. I kind of wish I brought long sleeves. It's a lot of shrubbery, but I mean, look at this. Look at this view. And the trail keeps on going through here. Let's see where it goes. So I think this is where the camera shines when you're not on the bike, when you're just walking. I think the stabilization is so much better than the GoPro in that sense, but you gotta hold it. And with the GoPro, it's just a lot easier to hold. And this seems a little bit more flimsy. But for walking around videos, I think this does the job. Let's keep exploring. Okay, I think we've reached the end of our trail. This looks more like a mountain bike territory trail at this point, or a walking trail. Probably leads back down there to the houses. Now we gotta head back. But a good find though, like a little practice for easy trails. Let's head home now and check out the footage. So I looked at the footage and I really like it. There's some annoying things, like it had a hard time focusing on my face while I was on the bike. If you notice that, I don't know if it was the mask or if it was the movement in the back, but I think in a place like this where I'm in a room and there's not that much movement, I think the focus should be fine. I think. Let's see. So it should be good. Another thing that I don't expect to do is I don't expect to be using this camera, the DJI Pocket 2, while on the bicycle. It's just too fragile. I'm worried that I might drop it. The GoPros are just much more robust, and with the mouth mount, it's kind of disgusting. With the mouth mount, I'm able to put it in my mouth when I need to use both hands on the handlebar while on the bicycle. And just getting it out of the bag is a bit fiddly too. Just because, where is it? Just because it has this case. This case is great, but while on the bike and you need to take it out and fiddle with it and turn it on, there's just too much that you need to do to shoot footage with the DJI Pocket 2 while on the bicycle. And the other weird thing is I don't think I can adjust the sharpness. I feel like it's a little bit sharp, the footage, but that's just me. It's a small annoyance. But for when walking around during bike stops, while filming people talking, while even doing some product shots, especially if I opt not to bring my trusty Olympus camera while on the bike, this is a really good option because it's much smaller. The footage is really good. I was surprised by the bokeh that I was getting while out on the ride. And I still have to figure out how to reliably control it. Like, even just the gimbal, I'm not used to the lag when you shoot it and then you suddenly change direction. I'm not used to the lag where it's super smooth, but it does take a while for the footage for the point of view to kind of adjust. So I'm not used to that, but all in all, pretty happy with this camera because having the ability to see the footage as you shoot is huge. It's a big difference. It makes framing and composing the shots so much easier. So you check that out. So just having that screen makes a load of difference. I also tried shooting it in the slow-mo effect. You definitely lose some detail in the slow-mo effect. The quality of the footage is not as good, but still usable in my opinion. I think it's something that I will experiment on for some shots in the vlog, that's for sure. And also the time-lapse feature. I really enjoy shooting time-lapses. I did in the beginning of the video. You might have noticed that. But I really enjoy shooting time-lapse, and this is a cool way to shoot it. I expect to be doing more time-lapse videos in the future. All in all, this is going to be a really good second camera. It's going to be my main camera while on the bike is still going to be the GoPro, but while off the bike, this is just so much better. Even at home, I suspect it will replace this camera. This guy is just too old, and I need a screen while shooting these things, and I used to like plug in my cell phone to this thing so that the screen on the cell phone comes out. It was a lot of production to shoot a video. I'd also have to get an external microphone, and anyway, hopefully this is good enough. So that's it. I will be using this camera a lot more often. Thank you to my parents for purchasing this for me. This was a surprise. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Oh yeah, my current settings for this camera, let me read it. So I shoot it on pro mode, negative 0.3 auto exposure, auto max ISO at 6400, white balance at 5500K, DC like color, because I post process it a bit, continuous autofocus, stereo channel, and wind noise off. Expect me to use this camera a lot more in the future. I hope the white balance is okay. Alright, this is my first impressions for the DJI Pocket 2 camera. Signing off. Please subscribe.